Hey, what is up? PULSAR just sent this pad out, and I wanted to document my first impression on this pad right here, black pad. Now, the only identifiable markings on this pad is, that's what it says here, surface 1 4mm P14. Now it measures 500 by 420, so it's just a tad bigger than or wider than your artisan pad. It's just as tall as your regular artisan pad, but slightly wider. Now it's supposed to be 4mm thick, but I measured it, and sometimes I get 4, sometimes I get 4.3. So in an artisan extra soft, it typically measures around 3.5 to 4, depending on how hard you clamp it down. Let me demonstrate to you. This is an extra soft Hayate Otsu. You see that's a 3.6, and then if you are just barely firm, I'm still getting 3.6. So sometimes I get 4, sometimes I get 3.6, 3.5. So this is the artisan extra soft. So it's kind of like slightly thicker than an artisan extra soft, so that for your reference. It's got a pawn base that I can only describe best as in between an artisan soft and an artisan extra soft. It's almost identical to the artisan pawn base. It's almost identical to the artisan pawn base, but you can see there is a difference. It just feels like it's got a little bit more density than an artisan. If you're familiar with artisan pads, you'll know how light and airy they are. It's like kind of floppy and squishy to the touch. It's very, very soft, very squishy. The PULSAR version is less floppy. It's got some rigidity to it, you could say. In fact, it's closer to a Tangdao SR, kind of like that rubbery. It's not floppy, it's kind of firm. You can see it's kind of like holds its shape easily, and the same with the PULSAR, it holds its shape pretty easily. Compare that with an artisan, very floppy, very soft, like a little waffle, like a dead waffle. So that is the difference between the base of these three pads that I wanted to show you. That's what's, I'm trying to describe to you what the new PULSAR surface is like. It's kind of like a thicker, more dense pour-on. It's still very sticky. It sticks to my desk, which is why I have the Odin Infinity underneath it. I don't like it to be sticky. It's got that same artisan feeling when you peel it off your table. It makes that adhesive sound, which I don't particularly like, but I don't mind it at all. But it's not something I would prefer. Now, the surface itself is undoubtedly a zero clone, and like almost all the zero clones of 2023, they are making them better than the original zero. Just like the ESP Tiger Tangdao, this zero does not make a scratchy sound when you swipe across. It's a lot smoother. It's a little faster, but it still retains that characteristic stopping power of the zero. You could say this feels closer to the Hayate Otsu, but it's a completely different kind of weave. with the Hayate Otsu, you can see there is like a zigzag. There is a zigzag weave, and it's kind of unique, which is why this Hayate Otsu is very, very special, because no one has been able to copy it yet. But the Zero is more kind of like a universal weave, and more people are, follow suit because it's easier to replicate, I suppose. I also need to take into account that this pad is still fresh and it hasn't really broken in yet. I do suspect some slowdown later on as it takes in the humidity and the moisture from the environment, and my sweaty, greasy hands and arms. But we'll see what happens when it develops. I'm here in a very hot and a very humid environment, so I do expect to see some changes, and I'm going to see this pad maybe evolve in the next couple of weeks, and I'll report back and tell you what the PULSAR Zero is going to be like. The biggest negative aspect of the pad is the lack of color. It's black. Now just give me anything other than black. We're rolling into 2024 and absolutely nobody wants black peripherals if they have an option. That's my opinion anyway. But I'm sure still a lot of people appreciate black color. It's just that I've had black pads all my life, so I'm ready for change. 2023 was that change, and I went for any color other than black. Give me anything other than black. That's what I went for me personally in 2023. I believe it's going to be the same in 2024. You see a lot of pads with graphics. You see a lot of pads nowadays coming in with vibrant colors, some even with muted colors. Dark greens are cool, dark blues are cool as well, but I just don't see black being a dominant color for 2024. Again, this is called Surface 1P14, 4mm on the low side, more like 4.3mm pour-on kind of base, very sticky, slightly firmer than an extra soft, but definitely softer than a soft, artisan soft, a little bit more density in the pour-on base, but very nice indeed. Anyway, that is my first impression of the new secret PULSAR Zero mouse, which is what I'm going to call it, and I suppose it's going to be out in 2024. I just hope they make something other than black, and I hope I didn't break any kind of rules covering this mousepad. All I know is I got a notification that this thing arrived. There were no instructions, there was nothing to say what I could make a video about and what I couldn't, so I don't know, I'm just winging it. But this is it, PULSAR. Looking forward to it. It's like a Zero, but maybe 30%, 20%, 30% better than a Zero. That's my opinion. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.